Today I'm making pasta, and we're going to start with these tomatoes from a garden. We cut off the stems, any of the blemishes on them too. And then we cut them on a cutting board, cut them into pieces, and then throw them into a pot. I have a half a bottle of water, which I'm divided between the 3 pots. We don't want the tomatoes to stick to the bottom of the pan. I'm also going to cut up these fresh green peppers that also came from the garden. We're going to remove the seeds and cut it up, slice it up, and put them in the tomatoes. So I cut up my green pepper. I'm just going to add them to the tomatoes, just for flavor. And then I'm going to mix them in. You cook the tomatoes for 25 minutes, but every 5 minutes you have to stir them to make sure that they don't stick to the bottom of the pan. I'm keeping it real for you guys, so I had the lid on here and it bubbled over, so it was a real mess, so I had to turn my heat down, and it's hard to clean up, so just be careful with that. So here's my, it is ready. I'm going to drain it. But I have a small one. I'm supposed to have a big colander for this, but I don't have one, so I'm just going to do my best just to drain the juice. We want to keep the tomatoes. And I'm going to do a little bit at a time. So I put the tomatoes from the bowl in this, and then I'm turning to get the sauce out. And you can see the sauce coming out. And you do it with a spoon with holes in it. Out of here, and then I put it in the other one just to strain it. And over here, that's a good sauce. It calls for a tablespoon of salt. This is hard salt, but I'm not using a tablespoon. I'm just going to add a little bit because my other spices that I use for my pasta are salty enough, so I don't need extra salt added to my food. We're just mixing the salt into the sauce. I apologize for making this passata because it's supposed to be runny. Mine is thicker, so it doesn't work through the funnel quite as well. I like a thicker sauce, and this seems to do the trick. So this one I will continue to make, but if you want it a little more runnier, don't squish your tomatoes like I did. And because I use thicker tomatoes, I'm using a spoon to do this because the jar is big enough to do it. So this is a thick sauce, which is really good. After I spoon my sauce into the jar, I'm going to be adding some extra virgin olive oil on top. Not much. And then they'd be ready to seal. I've sealed my jars. I hope you guys enjoy this if you try this. I'm going to enjoy this one because I have no extra additives. I know exactly what's in there, and I'm going to continue to make this.